Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Ask Rebecca radio show. Thanks for joining me. I hope everyone had a great week. It's been a pretty powerful one. On Monday, November 11th, we had Mercury transiting over the sun, which only happens once every 13 years. And this transit typically is a powerful one connected to increasing abundance. Plus, we also had 11/11, which is a powerful activation, and we had a full moon, so there's all kinds of stuff going on planetary-wise. And physically, you may have gone from sleeplessness and an abundance of energy to feeling maybe more lethargic and feeling more sleepy. Or it could be the opposite, right? Vice versa. So if you've been sleeping really well and now you're up, right? So it's one of the two scenarios there. You may also have been experiencing ringing in the ears or other ear stuff, and that might continue on for a couple of weeks, along with colds and body aches. And today is the last day of the self-existing moon of form. So for the last 28 days, you may have been doing a lot of self-examination, a lot of self-reflection, figuring out what's next for you, figuring out what you don't want, what you do want, kind of sifting through your life and yourself and really just examining everything. You may have been questioning or have had uncertainty surrounding finances, love life, self-esteem. You may have been looking at your spending habits, or maybe the feeling of lack. So you're noticing where there's restrictions and you're not feeling abundant. Or maybe money has been flowing for you and you've been really feeling freedom when it comes to being financially stable. And possibly some commitment issues could have come up in different ways, whether related to romantic relationships or committing to, your business or your job, your career, your life, any kind of commitment issues, and as well as the self-esteem issues. And probably a bunch of other stuff that I'm not mentioning here. And it would have affected probably every area of your life, but I suspect probably love was a big thing over the last month. Mercury, excuse me, geez, I cannot talk. I'm sleepy. I feel like I could go to bed right now. Mercury will be going direct around November 20th, which could have you seeing a change in plans or a shift in direction or questioning recent decisions that you might have made. So maybe over the last 28 days or so, while we've also been in Mercury retrograde, you've made some choices and decisions, and now all of a sudden you're going to be like, crap, I don't know if I really want to do that, and maybe I need to change my mind. Communication will begin to be easier. I do still feel like we'll be dealing with electronic issues and Wi-Fi stuff, just due to a crap ton of solar energy coming into the Earth's atmosphere. So you could still be dealing with maybe connection issues and, maybe you can't get your live stream working, or you can't, the computer stuff's not working, your Wi-Fi is not working properly, you're having, issues with cable, things like that. All right, let's get into what you can expect from tonight, November 14th through to November 21st as an overall theme, and then areas of love, work, finances, health, and spirituality. So this week, I just feel more and more people awaken and remember just how amazing, powerful, and magnificent they are and always have been. There's something happening on a very deep internal level with everyone. I can't really even properly express what I'm feeling and seeing. The best that I can describe it is a feeling that something profound is happening inside of you, but maybe you're just not quite sure what it is or understand what's happening until it begins to start revealing itself over the next several weeks and months. And to me, it just feels like some sort of spiritual activation. And to me, the shift will probably look like more of self-realization. Your awareness is changing. You're having a shift in perception. Maybe things that used to bother you don't bother you, things that didn't do, and just being more in tune with the higher aspects of yourself, I just feel like are going to be coming online. You may have had, or you may have heightened experiences of dreams, visions, revelations, or experiences of expanded awareness over the next week. You may also have moments where you just feel really small and insignificant when you realize the enormity of existence and life itself. For some of you, I just kind of feel like this is going to hit you out of nowhere. You know, maybe you're sitting at a red light in your car and all of a sudden you just have this realization that you're alive, which I know that you're alive, right? But it just has this whole other new meaning that you, this small little individual person, is part of this huge galaxy and multi-universe. So I just kind of feel like it's going to be this really intense awareness of like, whoa, you know, I am part of existence itself. So one of the more uncomfortable things that you may be dealing with this week is feeling annoyed, irritated, and being rubbed the wrong way by almost everything, it feels like. The way that I'm seeing this, though, is how pearls are made. And pearls are made with when an irritant, and usually that irritant is a parasite. A lot of people think it's a grain of sand that rubs, creates a pearl. But usually it's actually a parasite, and it works its way into an oyster. And the outcome of this irritant and the oyster's defense mechanism creates a beautiful pearl. And that's kind of what is happening to everyone this week. All those irritating moments are creating something beautiful within you. And there's a level of self-mastery that's happening with this as you're letting go of things that bother you, that probably shouldn't bother you. And it's just like this self-mastery. And I just feel like something beautiful within will be coming out of that experience. Things have been challenging, and the energies this week point to also making time to allow yourself to have some fun and connect with that childlike innocence of being free to play. So if you catch yourself being too serious or too irritable, remind yourself to tap into having some fun, especially because I feel some of you are going to be dealing with anxiety and worry, mainly those of you who live in a constant state of worry and fear. I just feel like you need to give your mind, body, and spirit a break. Just give it a rest, stick the worry on the shelf and let it sit there for a while, and really just try to let yourself have a moment of peace. And, worrying robs you of joy. It creates inflammation and illness in your body, plus a number of other things. So really and there's nothing you can do about anything until whatever you're worrying about actually comes to fruition, right? Until then, it's just a waste of time. And unfortunately for many of us, this worry, fear, anxiety is something that we really are addicted to, and we don't realize that it's an addiction, it's a habit, and it's something that you have to actively work on changing within yourself. Your animal spirit energy for the week is the dolphin, and the dolphin is innately intelligent, it's a healer, light, and blessings. And the gifts of the dolphin are beyond what our human minds can grasp. Dolphin personalities are often drawn to the healing arts as they are sensitive to the subtle and enjoy working on the level of spirit. It's easy for dolphin types to underestimate the impact they make in the world. These creatures play such an important role in the wheel of karma that coming in contact with a dolphin type energy will change the entire course of your day and thus your life. This card can also indicate a profound blessing is on the way. When you're in balance with this energy, you're an active healer, you're strong, you have a strong spiritual practice. And when you're out of balance, you underestimate your own power. And to bring yourself into balance, surround yourself with like-minded spirits or people. Work, for those of you employed, it feels like a really positive and hopeful week. Some of you will have this feeling of anticipation of positive change, while others are in the midst of this positive change. And those of you that are unhappy in work, I feel like you just realize that you hold the key to change your situation. You can choose to look for another job. And then there's a group of you who may be dealing with some tension at work. People are more emotional and sensitive, so they could become easily irritated because we've got that whole irritation thing going on. So I just feel like there could be some sensitive personalities at work. People are going through things in their lives. And, it's easy for us to place judgment and criticize and, talk crap about someone that is being cranky, bitchy, or rude or mean, but we never stop and consider or try to understand maybe what that person is going through in their own life. And not that that gives them a right to react in the way that they do, but this is where everybody practicing a little compassion, empathy, and understanding, everybody would get along. So yeah, you could see some irritation at work. And lastly, a couple of you have been worrying about whether or not you're going to lose your job. And unfortunately, I've just been feeling the answer is yes for some of you. And I kind of feel like this energy has been happening over the last couple of weeks, and it really sucks because it's right before the holidays. But I do feel some employers are getting rid of people. I don't necessarily see that this is going to happen all this week, but it could potentially happen over the next several weeks, I feel. And, if you are that person that has been worrying about that, or you've been seeing signs, and that doesn't go for anybody that's had a conversation with me or a session with me and asking me about this, we stick with what I told you. But other people that haven't had a session with me, I do feel like, if you're aware of this and you're picking up on some things, trust your intuition. And it really couldn't hurt for you to start looking now while you still have a job. That way you're not completely blindsided. Those of you that are looking for a job, I'm not really feeling too much here for hiring. I do feel callbacks. I do feel leads. And I just kind of feel like some of you are starting new jobs. But mainly, I feel like some of you are trying to talk yourself into doing seasonal work or something that you don't really want to do temporarily just to make ends meet. And so I feel like some of you guys are in some desperate situations where you need to make a couple extra bucks, or things, you're in between jobs, or just things have kind of doors have been closing so that new ones can open. And I kind of feel like you're just stuck with you've got the self-worth, and it's, hey, I was just making 20 bucks an hour. I'm not trying to take an $8 an hour job, but some money is better than no money. And at least it's bringing a little bit of cash into into your pocketbook, and will help you pay some stuff while you continue to look for something that really feeds your soul and that you're passionate about and connected to. So consider that. So if that's been you, I say take the risk, take the temporary gig, and make ends meet. Love, those of you that are in committed relationships and dating seriously, overall, I feel like everything is okay. I don't feel like everybody's going to be super, super happy, joyful, but I do feel like whether you are happy or unhappy in your relationship, it just feels like everyone is taking a little space and maybe taking a closer look at what you like, what you don't like, what you need, and what you want within the relationship. So there just could be, again, another week of kind of just looking at things and seeing if there's stuff you want to change and figuring yourself out. And again, it's the self-reflection. And so, like I said, I just kind of feel like everybody's taking a little bit of space. And I don't even know that it's something you talk about. You guys just might decide, like, you might run errands, and then your partner might have, an appointment doing something else. So it's kind of that sort of space. Now, the word dissection kept coming up in this area too, right? Like you're dissecting things, but some of you need to be careful because you get a little out of control with dissecting and analyzing and looking for fault in everything and looking for something to be wrong. Which is some self-sabotaging behavior, and it's causing lots of problems for you. And I feel like for some of you, this has been a habit. This is something that you do in relationships when you feel like maybe things are going too good or you're afraid, and then you start looking for things to be wrong. So being hypercritical and having extremely high expectations is going to set you up for failure, especially if you aren't communicating properly what your concerns are within the relationship. Those of you that are looking for love, some of you may meet someone younger than yourself. Age doesn't matter as long as everyone is an adult in this situation, and love doesn't know age. So give the person a chance. I do feel love connections all week. So make sure that you're out and about, you're putting yourself out there, you're open to meeting someone. And for a few of you, the timing just isn't right. So don't get discouraged. I do feel like you need to do some emotional work on yourself first before you attract that kind of love you want and need. So there's some healing that needs to happen before jumping into any kind of, well, I feel like you're dating, but I just feel like you're not having luck. And I feel that's why you're not having any luck. Finances, stable and moving towards improvement. Some will be worrying and stressing, while others may be purchasing big ticket items. Do your research and don't overspend, because that's just going to hurt your pocketbook later. Health, overall good. Again, some of you may be dealing with anxiety, worry, and stress, while others may have some back pain. Listen to your body and rest when you need. And again, put that worry and stress on the shelf, or do some exercise or something to make your life, a little bit better. And spirituality, some of you will really be committing to your spiritual growth and path, while others may take a little break from spirituality and just kind of, let loose a little bit. That wraps up this week's intuitive messages. Let me get to tonight's caller. I have Mariah in Los Angeles, California. Hi, how are you?
Hi, great. Thank you.
How can I help you tonight?
Well, I've been experiencing a block around my finances. I know that I'm very capable of creating, but it just seems like the tap has kind of been turned off. And so I have a desire to really step into a place where there's a full ownership of my value and worth and the capacity to just be in receiving. And I'm a hard worker, so it's not a matter of like passively asking for something. But it's very odd. I just feel like there's a huge block around finances, and I haven't been able to kind of unpuzzle it.
So I do feel like it will shift for you, but it feels more like the beginning of the year. I kind of feel like you're stuck in this ebb right now, but it feels, to me, the block feels connected to something that you want to maybe speak out about. To me, it feels like it's connected to communication in some way, right? Like you're not sure how to express, or I don't know if it's directly connected to what you do for a living. I almost feel like it might be connected to some other area of your life where you want to express yourself and communicate your ideas and what you're feeling and what you're thinking, but you're holding there just seems to be some sort of difficulty with speaking out about something. Does that resonate with you at all?
Well, it does, because I've been working on my website and a new website for a startup business, and I've been really blocked around even what the message is.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So, okay, so it feels like it's tied in with that, right? Once you go over the hurdle of what you're trying to speak about, what you're passionate about. Can I ask you what your business is?
Yes, it's a business to help a person who's a planner make important decisions before the end of their life, so that all kind of emotional, financial, and even kind of spiritual directives are in one place, so that they can come to this one place and everything is there available for any family member, any person to know exactly what they wanted. Kind of like a combination of what you would do with an estate planner and what you would do if you were sitting down with like a spiritual advisor. So it's both.
Okay. Okay. I love that. It resonates and vibrates high for me. So I do feel like you will have success doing this. I feel like you need to bring your own story into this situation, and maybe you need to, because I feel like this is something that you've experienced. And I think maybe starting off the website from your perspective of having maybe experienced or been witness to what happens when you don't do these things. Do you know
Beautiful.
what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I love that. Thank you. That's very clear.
Yeah, so I kind of feel like that might be the direction where you can start. And I think from there, it will really get, I think, your creative juices going. I feel like you can write. I mean, this is not something you typically struggle with, but I feel like it's such a sensitive subject that you're overthinking it in what you're going to say, right? You don't want to come across as crude and rude, and it's a sensitive subject. And that's why I feel like coming from your perspective and your experience and what you've witnessed with other maybe friends and family is really going to kind of help tie it all in together of why what you're offering is something that will, one, just make everyone's life easier, and how it doesn't need to be this uncomfortable thing, right? So I feel like you've got to bring the light and the love into it and take the tragedy and spin it into how it will just be beneficial. Now I'm struggling for the words, but I think you know where I'm going with it.
I do. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that really is the primary objective, is to take something that is seen as so heavy and hard and make it just a little easier for those who are left behind.
Yeah, and I feel like if you also spin it in a way where it's tied to the memory of the person. So, because you said you're bringing in the spiritual aspect, and it's almost kind of like a life review along with the planning of what's happening. So maybe you can spin it as well, where it's, this is going to be something that will be a beautiful memory, where you tie in some values or aspects of the actual person that you're doing the planning for, so that there's something beautiful at the end through this process, whether it's like a video that gets shared. I mean, I just think you could go lots of places with this, and I feel like you'll get the website done. You're in the ebb. So between now and December, you're going to, I feel like, get the website done. You'll have all the ideas. And I kind of feel the first quarter is where you really will start seeing more momentum, where, you'll get to a point where you can launch what you're doing. I am also getting, there's something about simple mistakes causing major problems. So it feels tied to documents, like documents and paperwork. So I don't know if it's connected to your business of what you're doing, or if it's connected to what you're going to be sharing, but I almost feel like you need to make sure that you're paying attention because maybe a minor error could cause a major problem. So, maybe it is with the planning stuff. So maybe you need to review your documents and the things that are part of your planning situation for someone that's making their life what do you call it? I don't even know what you call it. Their last will and testament, or it's more than that, right?
Yeah, their trust.
Yeah, so you're taking it a lot deeper. I do feel like also you're going to stumble across. I just feel like you're going to have new discoveries and you're going to make some new decisions. So I feel like you've been going down this one path, but I just feel like you might make some changes to what your original thought process was with things. So I think it's all going to come together beautifully. Right now, it's just you feel stuck, but I do feel like everything will be moving. And then also, lastly, just make sure that you're getting out of that feeling of lack.
Okay.
Right. So I feel like because typically I don't feel like it's as bad as it may feel or look like, but I feel like your energy has been going into, oh my gosh, I'm having financial, there's not enough. So now you've been feeding that energy, and I feel like you've got to pull it back and just start feeling abundant again, believing you're abundant. Just take a look at everything you do have and feed that energy so that you start attracting more into your life. And also I feel like you're out of balance in certain areas, and I think that's going to bring you back into work life or maybe love, money. There's something that's out of balance that I think if you hone it in, then you're going to also open up the flow of finances. I have 60 seconds left. Is there anything you wanted to ask me besides that that I can squeeze in really quick?
I just want to thank you very much for your time and thinking of me. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry, I am not sure if you were speaking. I can't hear you if you were.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to, I don't have any other questions. I just wanted to thank you for your time and attention and the energy you gave towards it. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you so much for calling in. And like I said, next year, first quarter, you're going to be fine. It's all going to flow just nice for you. All right, everyone. That's all the time we have for tonight. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next week. Bye.